Okay, Hal.
Okay. Uh, Good morning. This is Hal Mendelson, retired librarian from the University of Central Florida, Orlando, Florida. I'm here to interview SELA past president Linda Harris, who served in office from 2016 to 2018. Welcome, Linda, and thank you for your willingness to be interviewed today. My first question, Linda, is discuss your background in libraries.
Good morning, Hal. It's good to speak with you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about my experiences with SELA. Well, my career in librarianship spans over 40 years. I began my career at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as a general reference librarian and science librarian. That was in 1976, August of 1976. I had completed my graduate studies at Atlanta University in the month before, in July of that year. And I was interested in libraries always. You can check back into my high school yearbook, and it shows career goals, librarian. In fact, my father knew of my interest, and when we were thinking about my college goals, he set up an interview or a meeting with the head of the graduate library school at the University of Alabama, and her name was Dr. Ruth Waldron. And she advised me not to go into the undergraduate program, but to go ahead, finish college, and then enter a graduate program. And so I applied to the Atlanta University and received Andrew Mellon Fellowship to pursue academic librarianship. And that's how I got started in libraries. So at the University of Alabama in 1984, I was there until 1984, from 76 until 84. But while I was there, I also created the first online librarian position. In fact, it was called Coordinator of Database, Coordinator of Database Searching. That's what it was. Before online, it was database searching. And I had received some training in that while in library school. In fact, we had people involved in that area to come from Lockheed. They came and spent a week teaching us how to search. So remember, this is in the mid-70s. So this was just, cutting edge. And so that gave me a leg up. So I would already know how to search when I got to work in that field. So that was very, very good. And from that position at UA, I then got into the business librarianship field. I became assistant head of the business library on campus. And then after getting married and everything, I moved to Birmingham and became business librarian at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. And stayed there for the rest of my career in various positions, and then retiring in 2016 as associate professor and head of reference services.
Well, you've had a good number of years in the librarian field. Excellent.
Yeah, so that's how I got started.
Okay. My next question is, describe your history with SELA, such as your first involvement, positions held, and other service.
Well, I first got involved with SELA from attending my first Alabama Library Association convention in Montgomery, and that was in 1977. And our SELA representative at that time was a man named Luther Lee. He spoke so much about SELA. When he gave his report, he was so energetic. He just made you want to go ahead and join at that time. So it's what you need when, to encourage people to join. He just talked about how that was the greatest thing on earth. I had heard about ALA, and in fact had joined ALA, and my mentor, Mrs. Frankie Thomas, who was also my department head, was very encouraging about ALA, and I asked her, I said, what's this about? This is the SELA thing. And so she said, oh, it's a regional organization. You should join that also. And so I joined, and I attended, I remember in the late 70s attending a meeting in Atlanta, and I remember going to New Orleans, and I can't remember some of the other places, but I did. I found a place in SELA. I enjoyed it. And in fact, in later years, I became a charter member of the African American Issues Roundtable at the meeting in Jekyll Island in 2000. And then I later became chair of that roundtable. And I've held other positions with SELA. As you know, I was chair of the Outstanding Library Program Committee, chair of the Resolutions Committee, so many to name, but I've been actively involved in SELA. And also, because of my involvement with the Alabama Library Association, I served as their representative for 8 years as SELA representative. And then I became even more involved by serving on the executive committee and board. So was there anything specific about my work with SELA? I guess because of my work, I was nominated to run for election as president. That was in what,
2016.
15, 16, yeah, I served as president, because first, you know, as president-elect, and then as president, I think the years were 17 and 18, because now I'm serving as past president, 19 and 20. So,
good, yes.
yeah.
You've been involved for a couple of years.
Time.
Yes, very good, very good. Well, thank you. My next question is, please talk about your time as president of SELA. For instance, could you share any major accomplishments, initiatives, or challenges you faced while president?
Well, honestly, the prior leadership was so good. With Gordon Baker and Camille McCutcheon, they provided a blueprint for me to follow, and I just followed that. So there weren't any major initiatives or accomplishments that I could think of. We just kept things going, and I just relied on their prior leadership and continued leadership, really. I mean, whenever I had a question, whenever I needed anything, they were always there to help me. So I just, you know, stood on their shoulders and completed my term.
Very good. Okay, question number 4. As you gaze into your crystal ball, what advice do you have for SELA to remain relevant during the next 10, 25, or 50 years?
Well, I think the key to that, I mean, it's a regional organization. It's still relevant. I think we need to continue our partnership with other state associations. And we just have to be visible. Membership is key. We have to, you know, have a recruitment campaign in place, and to let librarians know on all levels what SELA can provide. And with the regional cooperation, there's a lot that can be done, and I believe that's key to SELA's viability, because in order, people have to realize what SELA can do for them. And I know manning the membership booth, you know, at meetings, well, why should I join SELA? What can it do for me? And so we have to be able to answer that question and keep SELA in the forefront, so it won't just disappear like other regional associations have.
Very good. One more question, Linda. Do you have any other comments or stories about SELA that you would like to share?
Oh, I can't think of any particular stories or anything. You know, I just enjoyed working with the various, you know, members. It's such a diverse group of people, and it's just been a wonderful time to work with them. I have to say that, you know, I've been active with ALA. I was active with ALA for all the years working, but I didn't develop any real relationships with other librarians that way. It was with those in SELA. I did. Because I served on national committees and everything, but it was just a different relationship with SELA. So I just don't have anything special to, you know, to say this at this particular incident. Nothing like that. It's just all around. It was just they were more congenial, um, and it was just a different way of working with people with SELA than with ALA.
Yes, I would agree with you. When I was participating with SELA, when I was librarian, the members were they were terrific to work with, very hardworking and involved. So I would agree with you. The members of SELA, they're a pretty unique and great group of people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Linda. It was a pleasure interviewing you today and finding out your
Thank you.
thoughts about your involvement with SELA and as past president.
Okay.
Appreciate it very much. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you.